All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the channel. We'll talk about yesterday. We've got an 8-game NBA slate, so we'll go through those. We've got 2 bowl games. We'll talk a little bit about those, but kind of bad, so don't love those. Yeah, so let's just get into the recap. Not a good day yesterday. Really the first bad day we've had in quite a while, like real bad day. We went 3-6. So not good. We had D'Angelo Russell over 5.5 assists. That was stupid easy. He ended up with 12. We had Zubac under 15.5 rebounds plus assists. He ended at 11. We had Jaden McDaniels over 13.5 points plus rebounds. Almost hit that in the first quarter. So he had 13 by the end of the first quarter. Hit it very early in the second quarter. So super sweat free. What did we miss? Peyton Pritchard over 3.5 rebounds. He ended up with 2. Bam Adebayo over 4.5 assists. Miami was a minus 1.5 point favorites and got blown out. Bam did not even play in the fourth quarter. He was a scorer last night, and every time he passed the ball, they missed the shot. So a little unlucky. He ended up with 2. Chris Middleton over 4.5 assists. He ended up with 1. I think just 1. No, maybe 2. I don't know. Nowhere near that number. Dame Lillard over 3.5 rebounds. This one ticked me off. Just lazy. I mean, he's always lazy in the first half with rebounds. He usually gets the majority in the second half. I think I was telling my buddy, I hope he just gets, if he gets 1 in the first half, probably good. He got 0. And then with 4 minutes left in the game, he gets 3 rebounds during the last 4 minutes. So just needed him to get that 1 in the first half. Paul George over 5.5 rebounds. I didn't think Embiid was going to play, and he just ended up snagging boards left and right. So bad read with the injury report got me there. He ended up with 2. He had 2 in the first half, none in the second half. Dennis Schroeder under 5.5 assists. He hooked us and got 6, so that was cool. So we had 2 hooks in there with Lillard and Schroeder. It is what it is. We bounced back today. Like the plays, we're going to talk about each game. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below. And subscribe, or not subscribe, but join the Discord. I did put out a college basketball parlay last night. It was the only play I put out with the DK boost. It ended up being plus 650 something, I believe, and we smacked that. So very nice parlay hit there. All right, so let's get into the game. We've got first game on the card here. It's going to be the Hornets and the Pistons. Pistons without Jaden Ivey. I think he broke his fibula, something like that. He had to have surgery, so pretty much done for the season. That has a pretty significant impact on things. Hornets plus 5.5. It's like, do you trust Bam? They still have a ton of injuries. I got to go Detroit in this one minus 5.5 with a lean towards the over 217.5. Magic in the Raptors. Orlando minus 1.5. Feels really low against a Toronto team that has been pretty damn bad. Orlando minus 1.5. I like that. Under 216.5, given the Raptors scored 57 points through 3 quarters the other day. So don't have a lot of confidence they're going to score a ton of points against a very strong Orlando defense. New York Knicks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I would say game of the night right here. It's either this or Boston-Houston, but I think this is going to be the better game. We're getting the Knicks plus 4.5. OKC at home. I don't love this one. I would lean more towards the over 221.5 with the Knicks plus 4.5 as the other pick. Wizards and the Pelicans. Let's see. Bilal Coulibaly is going to be out, so that's kind of been a play we've been nailing. Alvarado is going to be back for the Pelicans, so it'll be interesting how that works out with the rotations with guards between DeJounte Murray and McCollum. We'll see how he works in. I don't expect him to really have too much of an impact. Pelicans minus 7.5 feels a little heavy against Washington. It's 2 pretty bad teams, so it can go either way. I would lean more towards the under 233.5 in this one. Washington plus 7.5. Celtics and the Rockets. I thought that Celtics were going to lose yesterday with Porzingis and Brown out. They just were popping threes. Tatum went off with the threes. White went off with the threes. I mean, they were just banging them in from everywhere. Ant could not make a 3 to save his life. A little surprised when it came down to the game-winning shot. Ant was he was 1 for 6 or 1 for 7 at that point on threes. Julius Randle was on fire. And they let Ant take the last shot. I just don't know if I agree with that. especially when Randall was playing lights out. So I full-heartedly thought he was going to be taking the last shot. But it is what it is. Boston minus 2.5. Feels like a pretty good spot here. I think we should get Brown or Porzingis or both back tonight. So give me Boston minus 2.5 in this game. Cleveland and Dallas. Give me Cleveland minus 6.5. Still no Luka. I just don't like the way this team looks right now. I would say slight lean towards the under 231.5. Spurs and the Nuggets. Let's see. So Spurs and Nuggets. We got Denver minus 6.5 at home. I like this. So give me Denver minus 6.5. They're starting to really roll. I would lean heavily towards the under 237.5 as well. All right, Grizz and the Kings. Memphis, just injuries. We don't know. We've got a lot of guys that might come back tonight. I'll say a lot, but a couple. We could see Edey back. We could see Clark back. So I think we'll get one of the two, if not both, back. That said, no Ja. Still some key pieces missing. I kind of like Sacramento minus 3.5, but this is a game I would just lean towards the under 240. That's a little high. High for a Kings game anyway. And then last game, Hawks and the Lakers. AD sat last night. That's an interesting one. So I don't necessarily want to pick either team. I'll be honest. They're just so damn sporadic between the two of them. I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense in this game. So I do like the over 232.5. If I had to pick a team here, I'd probably go Lakers minus 3.5. They are a decent team at home. Austin Reeves has been on an absolute tear lately. College football, 2 games. So we'll talk real quick about those. You've got North Texas going up against Texas State. Texas State, pretty huge favorites. There is a ton of transfer and portal issues and people out in both of these games, but definitely lean towards Texas State here. There's a freshman starting at QB for North Texas. I just don't like all the injuries and everything they have. They're going to be very depleted. I don't think we'll see a ton of defense here. So obviously with an over-under 64.5, personally don't want to touch it. I'd rather just take Texas State minus 14. Next game, Minnesota and Virginia Tech. We see Minnesota minus 9.5. High line for Minnesota, which doesn't have a super potent offense. I don't want to trust Minnesota on line like that. I think we're going to see a lot of scoring in this one. So I would lean towards the over 42.5. That's just been a pretty safe play in all these bowl games. There's been a ton of points scored. So that's where I'm at on those. Let's get into the best bets, get you guys on your way. All right, so first bet, and somebody asked me if this is an order of confidence. So yeah, this is the order I like them. Sometimes I forget to do that, I'll be honest, but I am going to remember to put them in confidence order. So these are how I like them and in the order I like them. So give me Cat, over 2.5 assists. I like his rebound line, but I'm not going to touch it at 13.5. What I do like is his assist line. So he's over this in 7 of his last 10 games. He's over this in 9 of 11 versus OKC. OKC is 16th in assists allowed to the center position. I do think they're going to have to double team him. Should open up the floor for guys like Mikal Bridges, Anunoby, guys like that. So I actually do like Mikal Bridges over points today. It's not on the card, but I do think that is a lean. It's either him or Hart. One of them will definitely go over their points. Goga Batadze, over 2.5 assists. This guy screwed us the other day, but I'm back on him. I like his assist here. He's over in 7 of his last 10, and Toronto's dead last in assists to the center position. So I think he has a pretty nice day. I'm going to look into potentially laddering his assist up to potentially 5 here. Cade Cunningham, over 5.5 rebounds. Usually don't take Cade for rebounds. Usually go assist with him. His assist line is sky high today. But if we look at this, he's over this in 50% of his last 10 games, so 5 of 10. But Charlotte is 26th in rebounds allowed to the point guard position. We've got no Jaden Ivey. That would be some rebounds that he would take away. I think Cade should have a pretty decent day. I don't necessarily mind his rebounds plus assists, but I'm just going to go with his rebounds. Like I said, that assist line's a little high. I would say, if anything, rather than taking his assist lines at 10.5, just take him to get a double-double. Jalen Wells, under 4.5 rebounds. This one's a little sketchy, right? We're kind of reading into things and assuming some certain things will happen. but he's only gone over this in 2 of his last 10 games. If Brandon Clark or Edie play, if either one of them play, I just do not see him going over this line. So this is a bit of an injury guess play, but I do like it. Next one's going to be Trey Murphy under 5.5 rebounds. We've been on this several times this season. We're 100% hit rate on it. He's over this in 4 of his last 10 games. He's under this in 4 straight. Washington is 7th in terms of fewest rebounds allowed to the small forward position. So we've got good data here. Just keep taking his under. Next one's going to be Austin Reeves. I went back and forth on this one. This dude's so hot. And I don't want to be the person that misses the boat. Get some FOMO. I think we've already had it, but hopefully it continues tonight. But over a 7.5 assists. It's a high line. But he's over this in 4 of his last 5, and he's averaging about 11.25 assists. So he's been on an absolute tear. He should have a good matchup to get some assists tonight against the Hawks. All right, next 2 are double-doubles. We're going to go back to Goga. Goga, double-double. He's got a double-double in 7 of his last 10 games. Toronto is 23rd in points allowed to the center position, 25th in rebounds to the center position. So a matchup, perfect. So if he doesn't hit it, it is what it is. But everything here says play this. Now, the next one's just purely a revenge play. Isaiah Hartenstein, double-double, plus 105. He's got a double-double in 3 of his last 5 games, 5 of his last 10. I just think he's going to come out with a little extra chip on his shoulder here tonight, and he's going to play pretty hard. Not necessarily worried about his points. I think he'll get his points. It's more the 10 rebounds. Knicks are a bit stingy with rebounds, but I just don't see him not getting this. I think he's going to come out with a little piss and vinegar and want to just destroy them. So those are the plays I like today. Like I said, make sure you guys join the Discord. It's absolutely free. Link is down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.